Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
It is great to be here this evening. For those of us in the sanctuary, it is wonderful to be here, and we can still hear noise in the lobby, which is exciting.
Very exciting.
Because it means that more people are going to join us in a few minutes. For those of you at home, welcome. We are really glad that we are all together, whether we are physically here in the sanctuary I'm going to try that again. Physically here in the sanctuary or virtually here in the sanctuary and at home. I want to introduce our incredible musicians this evening. I want to introduce Rob Ross and Jeremy Sosin. Some of you may remember Jeremy from last week, and some of you may remember Rob from the summer. And now they're here together.
We were here together in the summer.
You were? Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
We don't really go anywhere.
Wow!
We're
The brain does not work so well.
joined at the hip.
Thanks, Jeremy. Well, now we're back here together this summer. This winter. Oh, God, I'm
Well,
going to
it's
stop while I'm
okay.
ahead.
We'll start from scratch. Can we take this back to
Let's rewind.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone?
Let's rewind. Rewind. Rob, Ross, and Jeremy Sosin are here to lead us in music, which apparently I really need.
We all know.
Yeah. But first, we're going to take some deep breaths to let go of the week. So let's take a deep breath in and release. And a deep breath in. And this time, we're going to let go of any stress or anxiety from the week. With this next breath in, let's breathe in the sweetness of Shabbat. Feel your shoulders release. Your heart fill with the beauty of Shabbat. For our opening song, we are going to be singing Hine Matov, which can be found on page 10. We are singing a version of Hine Matov that some of you may know. I believe it's Elena Arian. It is catchy and fun and joyful, and if you don't know it, please try to figure it out. It will come quickly, and join in.
Hine Matov Umanayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Get ready to clap. Hine Matov Umanayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Again. Hine Matov Umanayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Umanayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. How good it is.
How good it is.
How sweet it is.
How sweet it is
to be together on this day. How good it is.
How good it is.
How sweet it is.
How sweet it is
to be together on this day. Hine Matov Umanayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Umanayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleikum. Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleikum. Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleikum. Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleikum. How good it is. How sweet it is.
How sweet it is
to be together on this day. How good it is.
How good it is.
How sweet it is.
How sweet it is
to be together on this day. Hine Matov Umanayim Shevet Achim
גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד.
We are definitely ready to pray, to welcome Shabbat. I do want to, say, Rob, your wife is singing with our kids down the hall.
Yes.
So it's a lot of amazing music
There's a lot
happening.
of us here.
Yeah, there's a lot of musicians here. It's good for me.
It's good for the
I might
soul.
sing on key.
You will always sing on key. God hears everything in key.
We're going to turn to lighting our Shabbat candles and offering Kiddush. For those of you at home, I hope that you will grab your Shabbat candles and Kiddush cup to join us. We are going to first turn to page 3, and then the blessing is found on page 2. O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter this sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu b'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu. Zicharon lemase v'reishit, ki hu yom techila lemikrae kodesh, zecher letziat Mitzrayim, ki vanu b'charta, yotanu kidashta, Kol Ami, Shabbat Kodshecha, Be'ahava uvratzon, Inchaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen. L'chaim.
Our opening reading is not found in your prayer book. It is by the contemporary liturgist and poet and psalmist Alden Solovey. Light overflowing. The light in me sees the light in you is the light of God. O brilliance, sparkling from your eyes, radiating from your chest. O wonder, shining around us, shimmering with amazement. O glory, overflowing from my heart, touching your soul. The light of God sees the light in you is the light in me. We turn to the Baruch Hu, which is our call to worship. It says that we've done a little bit of warming up, and now we are ready to pray. Please rise as able, body or spirit.
La 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 la.
La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 lai la 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 la.
Baruch hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed HaMevorach HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed Yalai Lai la 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 Lai la 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 Lai la 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 Lai la 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 Lai la 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 Lai la 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 la.
Page 31, Mari Varavim. We thank God for days and evenings, and we read together, praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Aravim. Page 34, the Shema, we sing together.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem, Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Vaed. Ve'ata et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha ubechol nafshecha ubechol meotecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom alevavecha v'shinatam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'beitecha uvlechtecha v'derech uv'shokbecha uv'kumecha uv'kshartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha uchtavtam amezuzot beitecha uvisharecha leman tizkeru ve'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'hitem keroshim le'elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher otzeiti etchem be'eretz Mitzrayim lihiot lachem le'elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem.
Michamocha is found on page 40. As we turn to page 40, as we contemplate Michamocha and prepare to sing, I can't help but think about what freedom means. Freedom means so many things. It means something different to each one of us. For the Israelites in ancient times, it meant literally freedom from bondage. And for each of us, it might mean something a little bit different. It might mean freedom to pursue a dream. It might mean freedom from something that has been wearing on us. It might mean something just a little bit different to each one of us. As we sing with joy, let's ponder that.
Michamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha, nedar b'kodesh.
Repeat after me. No ra,
Nora,
tehilot,
tehilot,
oseh,
oseh,
feleh.
feleh,
No ra,
Nora,
tehilot,
tehilot,
oseh,
oseh,
feleh.
feleh, mi chamocha, ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha, nedar b'kodesh.
No ra,
Nora,
tehilot,
tehilot,
oseh,
oseh,
feleh.
feleh,
No ra,
Nora,
tehilot,
tehilot,
oseh,
oseh,
feleh.
feleh, mi chamocha, ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha,
nedar b'kodesh.
Page 42. Hashkivenu. Hashkivenu is a lullaby. It asks for God's protection as the sun sets, or as it is already entirely too dark for just after 6 o'clock in the evening. It asks for God to be with us, to help us to make good choices, to be with us until the next morning. It makes sense that it's one of our oldest prayers. It's likely written as early as 800 Common Era, because we need guidance. We need lullabies even many, many years after our parents stop singing them to us. We need that protection. So we ask for God to provide for each of us a Sukkot Shalom, a shelter of peace, whether it be a physical shelter, a spiritual shelter, something for us, something to guide us and be present for us. We sing together.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. Behamidenu shomrenu l'chaim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Shelter us beneath thy wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things,
O Adonai.
keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right.
Amen. 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 Amen.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. Behamidenu shomrenu l'chaim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Amen.
Thank you for that. Those harmonies were beautiful. We turn to Vishamru. It's a reminder of Shabbat. And for a long time, I wondered, why would we sing Vishamru, which is a reminder to observe Shabbat, when we're already observing Shabbat? So it seemed a little bit redundant. And yet, if you look at the last word of this, it says Vayinafash. We know we are observing Shabbat. There is a beautiful goal with this Vayinafash, to be refreshed. And so we can hope and pray by observing Shabbat that we will come out of this hour together of our Shabbat experience refreshed. Let's sing together.
Shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת ותורתם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת ותורתם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לתורתם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לתורתם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לתורתם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לתורתם ברית עולם.
The tefillah begins on page 46, first with a little bit of a recentering and intention, and then we'll continue on pages 48, 50, and 52. Page 48 begins the prayer, Avot v'imahot, recognizing our forefathers and foremothers upon whose shoulders we stand. Page 50 is the Givurot, God's greatness. 52 is the sanctity of God, a prayer specifically for Shabbat. We rise as able body or spirit.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Agadol Hagibor Le'anorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vechonei Hakol, Vezocher Chasdei Avot Ve'imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'lechem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah, אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה, רב להושיע, משיב הרוח מוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, וחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נוטלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומחיי אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומדו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני בחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום להללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Page 60, Shalom Rav. As we continue singing Shalom Rav, one of our beautiful moments that we have created is to take time to be grateful, to remember that even no matter how stressful the week might be, no matter how difficult things can feel, there are opportunities to think about that which we have found blessings, where we have found moments of gratitude. So as we sing together, find those moments this week of blessing. Find those moments of gratitude.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam.
Ki ata o melech adon lechol hashalom.
Ki ata o melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam.
V'tov beinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam.
We can always find a moment of blessing, a moment of gratitude. And yet we also know that there are so many whom we love who are struggling, whether it be struggling because of physical illness, or struggling because life is hard, or struggling with mental illness. And so that's why every Shabbat we sing and pray the Mishaberach, our prayer for healing. If you need the words, it's on the middle of page 253. And we ask if you are at home to put in the chat those names of those whom you love who are struggling, who need some healing, because together as a community, when we share those names, when we lift them up, we know that they do find a measure of comfort. And as my hand passes over those of us here in the sanctuary, I hope that you'll share aloud the names of loved ones so we too can be one community lifting up the names of those whom we love. We join together in healing song.
Berach Avoteinu Mikor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Visher Berach Imotenu Mikor HaBracha Le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
We take a few moments for silent prayer and reflection.
May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, oh God, my rock and my redeemer,
my rock and my redeemer. Yehi uleratzo.
May the words
of
my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, oh God, my rock and my redeemer,
my rock and my redeemer. Yehi uleratzo.
Well, here we are at the very end of the book of Genesis. Feels like we should keep going. There's some really interesting stories in the book of Genesis, but we're at the very end. We have come to the end of Jacob's tumultuous life. As we read this end of the Parshat Vayechi, Jacob is on his deathbed, and he is in the process of gathering all of his children to him. And he wants to have a last minute with each one of his 12 children, and in the end, 2 of his grandchildren. And when I was studying Parshat Vayechi, there's a lot of popular messages, popular pieces. We receive actually in Parshat Vayechi a line from this Torah portion, which has become the blessing that we use for our children every Friday night, the children's blessing. And it's often what rabbis preach on, becomes a popular piece of text. But something else stood out to me when I was studying this parsha. Every one of the blessings of the words, it actually uses the word devarim, not blessing, in the text, is different. Every time Jacob speaks to one of his children, it's very specific to each child. So there's a really important lesson about the role of the individual within the community. This parsha is teaching us to recognize and appreciate individuality. It would have been so much easier, Jacob's on his deathbed, to just give a blessing to his family, to give one big blessing about generalized hopes for their future, about who he would want them to be. And what he does instead is opt to do what's harder, to make the moment personal and meaningful for each son, even if it's not always the most positive message to each son individually. He speaks on their strength, their gift and abilities, and even some of their weaknesses. He says about the tribe, the son named Gad, the tribe of Gad. Gad, this is the quote, "Gad shall be raided by raiders, but he shall raid at their heels." About Benjamin, he says, "Benjamin is a ravenous wolf. In the morning he consumes the foe, and in the evening he divides the spoil." About Zebulun, he says, "Zebulun shall dwell by the seashore. He shall be a haven for ships, and his flank shall rest on Sidon." And for Judah, an excerpt of what he says, it's much longer. "You, O Judah, your brothers shall praise, your hand shall be on the nape of your foes. Your father's sons shall bow low to you." For each one, he proves he knows them. He proves that he has something important to share with each of them, even as he lay dying. And at the end of the blessings, it says in Genesis 49, verse 28, "All these were the tribes of Israel, 12 in number, and this is what their father said to them as he bade them farewell, addressing to each a parting word appropriate to him." 12 kids, and he found something specific for each one. What an extraordinary gift and what an extraordinary lesson for us. We often pick the communal over the individual. When we have a group of people, we address them as a group. How important it is to know and touch each one individually. To 12 students in a classroom, to 12 personalities on a leadership board, to any 12 people who are functioning together in a group at a given time. We are each individuals functioning within a community, and each deserve a word appropriate to us. There's a midrash that teaches that even at Sinai, even when we were receiving Torah, that moment when all of Israel was there and Torah was being communicated by God in whatever we believe theologically, this would be a communal experience. And yet the Midrash teaches that while God spoke in one voice, each of us heard God's words in a way that was personally meaningful, and that's how God wanted it to be. Judaism recognizes our need to feel heard and to be seen, to balance the needs of the individual and the community. And as I was studying Parshat Vayechi this week, I realized that this is an extraordinary lesson within this text. That even in a community, even when we're balancing so many needs, we each deserve an appropriate word. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
So our anthem this week celebrates that Torah portion and that ability of all of us to find our individuality amongst the community. So we'll be singing Shir Chadash, which is Shiru L'Adonai, sing unto God a new song, as if every time we sing as a community, we're singing a new song individually, and each one of our individual voices can be heard by God individually, so that we can then sing together as one. Shiru L'Adonai.
Shiru L'Adonai Kol Haaretz. Shiru L'Adonai Shir Chadash again. Shiru L'Adonai Kol Haaretz. Shiru L'Adonai Shir Chadash. Sing unto God, all the earth, a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God, and we'll all sing along. All the earth a new song unto God. Shiru L'Adonai Kol Haaretz. Shiru L'Adonai Shir Chadash. Shir Chadash. Shir Chadash.
Anu. Let us adore the ever-living God and render praise unto you, who spreads out the heavens and established the earth, whose glory is revealed in the heavens above, and whose greatness is manifest throughout the world. You are our God, there is none else.
V'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. V'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz. Bayom hahu, yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad.
Please be seated. We turn now to our memorial meditation, which is a a poem by Marge Piercy. It is her contemporary contemporary poem or translation or interpretation. It's called Kaddish. Look around us, search above us, below, behind. We stand in a great web of being joined together. Let us praise, let us love the life we are lent, passing through us in the body of Israel and our own bodies. Let's say amen. Time flows through us like water. The past and the dead speak through us. We breathe our children's children blessing. Blessed is the earth from which we grow. Blessed the life we are lent. Blessed the ones who teach us. Blessed the ones who we teach. Blessed is the word that cannot say the glory that shines through us and remains to shine, flowing past distant suns on the way to forever. Let's say, amen. Blessed is the light, blessed is darkness, but blessed above all is peace, which bears the fruits of knowledge on strong branches. Let's say, amen. Peace that bears joy into the world, peace that enables love, peace over Israel, everywhere. Blessed and holy is peace. Let's say, amen. On this Shabbat, we remember in Shiva in the first week since their death, Pearl begun, in the Shloshim in the first month since their death, Jean D. Heflick, Maxine Stevens Middleton, Kenny A. Zeisler. And we mourn the yahrzeits, the anniversaries of death that fall on this Shabbat. Louis S. Arnoff, Sadie Arnoff, Samuel L. Aub, Linda Couch, Jean R. Doss, Gloria Dinner, John E. Frankel, Celia Castle Friedman, Jane Haber Gardner, Benjamin J. Goldberg, Alan David Goldhammer, Lonnie Golenberg, Maurice Greenberg, Bernard Haar, Edna Feiss Hayes, Joseph W. Heiner, David A. Heller, Theodore Hyams, Harry Weinberg Lang, Darwin S. Luntz, James H. Miller, Gertrude Moss Miller, Edgar Ottinger, Minda C. Power, Minnie Robinson, Tom Rose, Florence Weidenthal Rosewater, Arthur H. Rosewater, artist Mickey Rubin, Alice Sternberg, Sophie Steinbuck, Henry Steinbuck, Jacob B. Wise, Ethel Brudno Walpole. Our griefs and sympathies are mingled as we turn to page 294 and rise as able for the mourner Scottish. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah, Bialma Divra Hirute Viamlich Malchute, B'chayechon Uvyomechon, Uvchaye Dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala Uvizman Kari V'imru Amen. Yehe Shmei Rabbah Mevorach Leolam Almei Almaya, Yit Barach V'yishtabach V'yit Pa'ar V'yit Romam V'yit Naseh, V'yit Hadar V'yit Taleh V'yit Talal, Shemei Dekudesha Barechu, Le'ilam Min Kol Birchata V'shirata, Tush B'chata V'nachamata, Ta'amiran B'alma V'imru Amen. Yehe Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya, V'chaim Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'imru Amen. Osei Shalom Bimromav, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom, Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'imru Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and give comfort to all who are bereaved. And let us say together, Amen.
Amen.
Please be seated. It's my pleasure to invite the president of our congregation, Lori Rosenberg, to come forward to share a few announcements and greetings.
Shabbat Shalom.
Yeah, we hear you. I hear you brilliantly. Oh, well then, maybe they can.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. And I want different kind of joyfulness of our music today. Thank you, Rob and Jeremy. I said to Rob earlier, just his joy brings, joy to, at least to me, and I hope to all of you. It's just a different sense of music. I gotta hold it.
It's off.
Okay.
See, here
Okay,
I
I'm
was
sorry.
saying I could hear you.
We're
Lots.
good? I got the thumbs up. All right, so Rabbi talked about the individuality, and Rob brought it together as a community, and that's what we have here at the congregation, and this service wouldn't happen without all the people that bring it together, our leadership team, and all the staff, the volunteers, and everybody who's behind the scene week after week, so we thank them. And it's so nice to be able to thank ushers again. We're back. So Noreen, thank you for welcoming and greeting us into the sanctuary tonight. And as we come to the end of the year, there aren't as many announcements, but I have a couple. One is we are now registering for trimester number 3 for our tent. And yes, people are already out there. There was 2 people within like an hour or 2 of the email going out. And in terms of services coming up, we always have creative, or often we have creative services, but the next 2 weeks are awesome. Next week, we have our movie music theme service. And then the week after that, we're having our PJ service for New Year's Eve. So if you're coming to those, come prepared. They're going to be wonderful services. And the last announcement is next Friday, Christmas Eve, and the following Friday, New Year's Eve, the offices will be closed. So if you call, you won't get an answer. And I think that's about it. Microphone or no microphone? Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
It's okay. We're good.
Thank you. So our closing song is called Grateful. It is by Beth Stiles. You do not, in the sanctuary, you do not have the lyrics in front of you. We sang it last week. The lyrics are very easy. And if you are at home, however, you have the benefit of having a slide and have the lyrics in front of you.
For each day I live, my God, for each day I live, I am grateful, grateful, forever grateful, grateful each day I live again. For each day I live, my God, for each day I live, I am grateful, grateful, forever grateful, grateful each day I live. I am gifted by your glory, I am lifted by your love, I am grateful, grateful, every day I live. I am grateful, grateful, every day I live. For each day, for each day I live, my God, for each day I live. I am grateful, grateful, forever grateful, grateful each day I live. I am gifted by your glory, I am lifted by your love, I am grateful, grateful, every day I live. I am grateful, grateful, every day I live.
Let's rise as able for our benediction, followed by Motzi.
Yivarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and keep you.
Yair Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka.
May the light of God's presence shine upon you and be gracious to you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom v'yasem lecha shalom.
May God lift up each one of us, and may God bring us shalom, peace, and wholeness. Amen.
Amen.
Let's offer a motzi, and then those of us in the sanctuary will be able to enjoy some challah in the lobby.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. B'tei Avon. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shalom.